Connor, we're coming back. That was the Mario Bros. Theme by Scalone. Scalone. You gotta love ska, Mario.
It's a good jam.
So we got our last guest with us today. Last guest. Biggest guest, last guest. One of my favorite guests. He is the king of cheese. He is the inventor of the Trump jump. We got Ryukahr with us. Ryukahr, how you doing?
Hey, welcome.
Yo, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
No problem. I was so happy to see you joined us. I was telling you a little bit before we started that I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I enjoy a lot of Mario games, and I like Mario Maker. I'm not bad at it. I'm nowhere close to how good you are at it, so it's fun to watch somebody really good play it. So I appreciate you being very good and letting me watch.
Oh, no, you're the real MVP. Like I always say, people are like, thank you. And I say, are you kidding me? Thank you. Thank you for watching. Like, without you, there is no me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it just, I watch and then I play and I'm like, oh, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? It looks so easy, but it's not at all.
It is weird how like seamless it looks. It's like that with a lot of things. I feel like if you watch somebody do it, it's like, oh, this doesn't look too hard, and then you try to do it, and you're like, this is impossible. How do they do this?
I think one thing I would watch you play, and I'd be like, I definitely can't do that, is when you play like the ROM hacks. Just like, yeah, there's no chance I ever could pass. I probably can't get past level 1.
Yeah, those are tough. Those are my favorite though, because they have a they're very different than Mario Maker.
Yeah.
The way they control is very, very specific.
Are you more of like, you like that more specific control, or do you not mind the Mario Maker ones?
I love Mario Maker, don't get me wrong. The Mario ROM hack stuff I've always preferred a little bit, just because, and it's weirdly enough, they use the same physics engines from the original games, like Super Mario World. The ROM hacks that we play right now, the new ones, they all use the same physics from the original video game, which you think would be a bad thing, right? It's like old, outdated, but no, it's so good. Like Mario World, for example, has such a fine level of control that Mario Maker doesn't have. So for like top level play, it's actually, in my opinion, preferred.
I feel like Mario games have always been able to do that. Like the gravity and the feeling of each playing game can kind of last for longer than most games do. It doesn't feel as clunky like going back to playing old games.
Yeah, maybe that's why they were so popular. You know, we didn't realize it, but it was just that good. You know.
Do you remember the first Mario game you ever played and beat?
I do. So actually, my memory doesn't involve me beating the game. It actually involves my dad beating the game. So my first memory is the original Mario Bros. I was 5 years old, probably. Me and my brother and my dad are trying to beat this game, and it was so hard. World 8 was so unforgiving, if you remember. You get like 3 lives, get through World 8. If you die, you go all the way back to 8-1. It's totally brutal. So we were spending like the whole afternoon trying to beat this, and my dad was actually the one who brought it home. He's the one who got the axe on 8-4. First one to beat the game, and we were just freaking out. We were like losing it. We were little kids just like tearing pillows. I don't know what we were actually doing, but it was like one of the most hype moments ever, and it's the one I remember the most clearly from my early childhood.
Before the streaming, you were doing song covers. How did that start? Like, how did you start with the song covers, and why did you start posting them to YouTube?
So the music stuff is interesting. So that was in about 2015, if I recall. And I had started playing music pretty late in life. I would say, well, just to sum up real quick, I used to play trumpet when I was younger, and then I kind of like just dabbled a little bit. I picked up guitar when I was 18 or 19, and then back in 2015, I finally decided, hey, I want to learn piano. So I got a piano, and I started learning video game songs and just messing around. And I thought, okay, I want to try to learn songs, and I need some kind of like accountability thing. So I was like, okay, how about I learn the song, I perform it, record myself, and then I just upload it to YouTube, make a video. And so I just started doing that. It was the first thing I ever did. It was way before I ever even thought about YouTube as a career or anything like that. You know, it was all just on my own little thing where I was having fun learning piano, and I just kind of rolled with that. And it was a fun way for me to hold myself accountable for learning songs.
Yeah, and kind of going off that, so when you were doing big time Nintendo songs at first, what kind of access did you kind of have with that at the time? And when did you decide to kind of switch over to mostly streaming as your career kind of moved forward?
So for me, like, I never even thought about the possibility of having any sort of, quote unquote success or like people watching or anything. For me, it was just me doing my own thing. If people wanted to watch, great. If, sure, why not? So the thing that changed was Mario Maker came out that same year, like 5 months after I started doing those music videos. And I was watching a live stream on YouTube. And I've always loved Mario. Mario Maker is great. And we were watching, and actually, as we were watching, I was watching with some of my family and friends. And they were like, wow, this is really cool. Especially with Mario Maker, you can make levels and submit them to the streamer. It's very interactive. And my friends and family were like, you should try this. Like, we think you'd be good at it. And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe. Because I never really considered myself that kind of a person, like that personality who would get on stage and perform, so to speak. But I went ahead and gave it a shot, built a streaming computer, and started playing Mario Maker, started streaming. And at that time, I was kind of doing both still. I was doing my piano learning and posting those videos, and I was also streaming Mario Maker. And I just kind of like kept going.
No, that's awesome. It's great to hear that like you had that support right out the gate. Because I know I have friends that have parents who are like, I don't know if this is what you should be doing right now. But hearing that there's support somewhere out there is nice.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have, people around me that that encouraged me to go down the path that led me to where I am now.
So when you were still making music and you're doing the covers and things like that, was there a thought like you wanted to really, really deeply dive in? You said you're not really one of those people that wanted to go on stage and perform, but do you ever think like I should dive into this and really try to give music a shot?
Yeah, there definitely was a moment. So the music stuff is interesting because music for me, like I've been like on and off in bands throughout the years, so I had some experience being on stage, but I was never like super crazy into it. It was always pretty chill for the most part. Played a few cool shows throughout the years on and off. As we went into the YouTube stuff, it actually became difficult for me. I was like, what do I want to focus more on, the gaming or the music? And as far as the being on stage stuff goes, man, I don't know. It kind of just kept snowballing, and it just kind of like got away from me, I would almost say, where like I just had to adapt if I wanted to keep doing it. Because, I started off, it was small, it was fun, and then, eventually, you got 20 viewers, 30, 50, 100. And like I remember when I had 100 people watching, and I was like, this is absolutely stupidly insane. Like I couldn't fathom why or how like I could make this how 100 people want to watch me play games or play music or whatever. And it was tough for me, I'm not gonna lie, transitioning into that. And it's always still a little bit weird to me today, even to do what I do. But I just kind of felt like I had to adapt and keep going with it,
You said you played piano. What else did you play? Or is it just piano and keyboards?
Guitar was my instrument of choice, so that's what I started when I was like 19, and that's what I played on and off throughout the years when I was actually in bands. And that was pretty much what I was doing. Since then, I've also started learning percussion and some other stuff as well, but it was mostly guitar until I started learning piano.
So when you were in these bands that you played with, as you were getting more into music, you were a guitarist, lead guitar?
A little bit of both, so it depended. I played an interesting genre of music that is typically known as post-rock. I don't know if you're familiar with like this kind of music. Explosions in the Sky is one of the more popular bands, but these bands typically their guitarists are like kind of like the riffs and stuff. They kind of go back and forth. Like in a lot of cases with my bands, me and the other guitarists would like take turns, sort of.
It kind of ended up as a jam band. Little bit, like you're kind of just going back and forth with whatever you could. Yeah,
kind of. So sometimes one of us would be playing the rhythm line, holding it down, the other guy would be doing the lead, or vice versa. Okay. Or sometimes it'd be like layered rhythm lines. I don't know, super weird, but it was really fun.
So you start with the music, then you start doing Mario Maker, and you started to see a little bit of success. When was the moment you're like, I've made it as a streamer. Like, I'm getting a lot of follows. I'm getting a lot of people. Like, what is that moment that you had?
That's a tough question for me to answer, because like in a lot of ways, I don't even know if I consider that I have made it as a streamer in a lot of ways. So for me, it's like, it's still so mind-blowing to me that I can do what I love and share with the world like this. And I get to do this, you know. I'm so grateful that I get to do this and that people enjoy it and tune into it and support it. And that just blows my mind every day. But for me, it's also, part of it is like, you know, it's limitless, like what this can be, what I want to do, and where we can go, what I can work towards. And for me, it's like, I almost want to say, I don't even feel like I have made it as a streamer. Every day is like just loving it, enjoying it, and trying to make the best out of everything.
For you, is streaming a full-time job?
So, you know, technically it is what I do full-time. But for me, I don't even like to consider it a job because, you know, again, it's like even talking about it, it's like, it's so crazy. Because I'm like, I don't even consider it, because it's kind of hard. It's like, I don't even want to consider it work because I love it so much. And then I'm so happy that I get to do this. But it is what I do. If we want to talk about, you know, strictly like job stuff. So I did used to work in IT full time, and that's what I transitioned into doing this and not doing that.
How did you enjoy that job?
I actually,
this one?
Well, I mean, this is a dream job. This is my dream. It's the greatest thing that I could ever have fathomed for myself. At the time, though, I enjoyed the work I did as well. So I always knew I wanted to do something with technology or computers. So I was doing stuff in that department where, like, you know, I was working for companies and helping to do stuff with technology and help streamline all their stuff. And it was pretty cool. But, like, compared to actually getting to do what I love and cherish for a living, it's hard to compare.
So on December 1st, 2017, you received what I have to imagine is the largest single donation you've had in your career so far of $10,000. Is this correct?
Yes.
How'd you deal with that? What were the emotions you had during that moment that you saw that flash on the screen?
This is a funny story, actually, which is why I answered kind of like yes. So this is a good one. So, and where do I begin? So we're having this stream, and there actually was a donation war happening between two people. Like one would donate $50 and be like, yeah, like, what do you think about that, to this other guy? And it was all fun. They were just having fun. The other one would donate $50 and be like, oh yeah, I'll match you. And then out of nowhere, this $10,000 donation drops, and it wasn't any of the people that had previously donated. It was someone brand new, and the donation message said, "That bitch," in caps. That's all it said, "that bitch." And when I saw that, I was like, I knew something was up. Like, something was weird. One, I don't know who the person was, and two, that message. So the feelings in the moment that I think I would have completely freaked out if it didn't come like that. Like, if it came like with a message that seemed more legitimate, I would have been freaking out. But since I saw that, I was like, I know something's going on. This is very weird. And I didn't really know how to handle it because I was torn between, like, I want to be grateful for what just happened, but I also feel like something really funny is going on. But to fast forward a little bit, that it actually was a real donation. What had happened was a kid had gotten access to their mom's PayPal account.
Oh no.
And they were watching the stream, and they were calling one of the other donators a bitch. Like, he was like, "You're a bitch. I'm going to show you up with my $10,000.
Oh no.
And long story short, you know, we worked it out. The money was returned to the mother, and everything's good. So it was real. It actually was real. It just also wasn't real. at the same time.
That's
You know what I mean?
Exactly at all what I expected.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't sure how much you knew about that story. So
no, not at all.
Not too much. So if that one it was real but wasn't, what would be one of the largest ones you've ever gotten? Would it be in the thousands, or is it more in the hundreds?
It's almost hard. It's almost hard to qualify. If you're talking about a single donation, I mean, we have seen donations in the thousands before, but we have some supremely generous community members who have contributed, not necessarily in one donation, but like over time.
Just builds up.
It's hard to qualify. I couldn't even guess, but it's out of this world, and something that, again, I can't even like really comprehend. It's like it's truly amazing, and I'm just so grateful for it, and that people are willing to support this thing of doing what I love for a living, you know.
And I notice you have a very strong community now on Reddit and Discord, and to go along with your streams. First of all, how often do you actually yourself go on to the Reddit and see what people are posting and things like that?
Oh, I'm on Reddit pretty much every day. So Reddit's an interesting thing. I actually did not get on the Reddit train until maybe like 6 months ago. Someone from my community had built a Ryukahr subreddit, and I didn't use Reddit at all. And I was at the time he had built it maybe a couple of years ago, and I was like, okay, cool, right on. And then that was it, which is a complete lack of gratitude on my part. So that's my bad. But within the recent year or so, I was like, I really want to check this out. And then I dug into it a little more. And oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's funny you say you weren't really on Reddit, because now you're streaming on Reddit.
Yes. So that's another thing. So I can segue into that for sure. So a lot has changed in the very recent, last year, as far as community goes for me. For me, it's something I haven't appreciated enough until, even still, I'm working to appreciate it more every single day. And the subreddit, the Discord and stuff, the community we have and that we're building, I've just come to appreciate it so much now. And I love going to the Reddit. People go in there posting, sharing stuff, whether it's a meme or just something nice or kind of random. Just the fact that they thought to go to the Ryukahr subreddit and post something, that means so much to me. It's great to be able to interact with people. I can just go in there and type something silly, and it's super fun. And so, yeah, that's been really great for community building. I've been really loving the subreddit and the Discord stuff as well. To segue into the next thing with the Reddit streaming, yes, the streaming has also emerged very recently. So in the last month and a half, maybe. So I did not know anything about Reddit streaming. I didn't even know it existed. And my good friend Sunny was watching it, and he was like, oh, this is interesting too. He didn't really know much at the time either. So he started streaming on Reddit and had massive success, just massive. He's now one of the top streamers on Reddit. And he was like, dude, you got to try this. It's so cool. The community there is insane, so generous, so awesome. And I gave it a shot, and it was incredible. And it still is very incredible. I try to stream there once a day if I'm able to, usually at least a few times a week. And it's been a completely wild and awesome ride.
I would say, actually, one of the reasons I saw that you were on Reddit is because I was scrolling through one day, and yours was one of the top broadcasts. I was like, I didn't even know he was streaming on Reddit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was one of the top broadcasts on there. It was like a couple months ago or something like that. So I was like, wow. And then the community on Reddit's almost at 10,000 now, correct?
Yeah. So it's been, I've been so fortunate to get featured on the front page of Reddit, quite frequently, and we see huge numbers on our 7,000-8,000 sometimes concurrent viewers in the Reddit streams. Being on the front page just opens the doors to so many people, getting to meet so many new people, which is the thing I love the most about it. And yeah, the subreddit as well is almost to 10,000 strong, which is looking pretty good.
So when you're doing things on social media, whether it's Reddit or Discord or things like the professional ones, do you outsource that, or are you also doing all the Discord stuff, and you're also when you have the updates for when you're streaming or whatever it may be?
I do a lot of stuff my own, like the YouTube editing and videos and stuff. I do mostly on my own, but I also do have a team. My closest friends and family are my team, and they help me so much with whether it's like, sometimes they might help out with editing a video, or making a business decision, or whatever it may be. They help me out so much behind the scenes with, even if it's just like someone to bounce ideas off of. But we have a very strong, very amazing family that helps me out so much with my day-to-day.
And I mean, as someone that's done video before, I wonder if you feel the same way. Do you enjoy doing your own editing because you have the story that you want to put in your head, so you'd rather do it yourself than outsource it? Because you do a ton of videos. You probably have almost 900 on YouTube, and you're streaming all the time, so I'm sure it's a lot of work, but you have the image of what the story is supposed to look like in your head, so you'd rather do it yourself.
It is a lot of work. So I love editing. Like, I absolutely love it. The thing that sucks is, it does take a lot of time. And I wish I had more time so I could focus on it even more, because I really do enjoy telling that story. It's always been one of my favorite things about video editing is, like, you just record a video, but then you get to tell a story. You get to decide how you want to piece it together, how you want it to flow. And, like, as the years have been going on, I've been getting more experience. I've come to learn, like, all sorts of different ways of looking at it and approaching it. And even after all these years, I still absolutely love editing videos. I know what you mean with, like, your own style. Mm-hmm. It is a little, it can be a little tricky for sure. If I wanted to outsource like a YouTube video to someone, I would definitely have to think about that, because if it deviates too far from my style, it might be jarring for the viewers. I'm not against having other people edit my videos. It's just, it's kind of a funny thing, It's a mix of, I really love doing it, like, I genuinely love doing it, but do I have enough time? Versus, can I have someone else who can, do it how I envision it looking? So it's kind of a delicate process.
Did you learn to edit videos for this, or did you already know how to do it and kind of learned it already before, and then this kind of transferred over into the streaming?
Oh, I definitely learned it on the fly. So it was I was like, when Mario Maker came out, like, as soon as it came out, I started pushing out videos almost immediately. And I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I'm just going to have to figure it out.
So which of the two do you like more, 1 or 2? Mario Maker 1, Mario Maker 2?
I would say Mario Maker 2 is, without question, the better game. It's got way more content. It runs more smoothly. It's got more game modes, all that stuff. However, Mario Maker 1 has something that Mario Maker 2 doesn't have, and it is important. So Mario Maker 1, it has the 100 Mario challenge.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, it's like, it's very important. And it's that combined with the levels in Mario Maker 1 are kind of like insane. So Mario Maker 2 released a new algorithm that favors likes versus dislikes, and Mario Maker 2 tends to serve better levels on average in the endless mode. Whereas Mario Maker 1, I don't think it has any filter whatsoever. You get insane levels in Mario Maker 1. So for me as a content creator, Mario Maker 1 has this quality that Mario Maker 2 doesn't have, which is the 100 Mario challenge, 6 highly unpredictable levels wrapped into it. And for me as a content creator, like, making a video, like, it's hard to, it's amazing, it's so cool. It's such great content, and you can't really get it in Mario Maker 2. So it's a weird thing. It's a funny thing. Mario Maker 2 is the better game. I wouldn't deny that at all. But it's lacking what I just described.
Yeah, and having an end, I know it sounds weird, but having an end to it probably also keeps people engaged more. Like the endless Mario, you don't really know when it can end, because with one life you can keep going if you play really well, but after the 6th one or after the 100th man is done, that's the end of the run. Like, that's it. But I think having that end also helps create the keep people engaged. Like, oh, is he gonna do it? Oh, there's one level left. He only has 5 lives. Is he gonna do it?
I agree. That story is very important. And I wish that Nintendo would have rolled out 100 Man to Mario Maker 2, maybe tweak the algorithm a little bit to make it interesting, some more options, but what are we going to do? I still love both games at the end of the day, which is why I still play both games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Mario Maker. So how often would you say you're playing games, whether it's on stream, off stream? I know a lot of streamers who are still playing games off stream, but do you ever get kind of tired of any games and you have to move on, or you're feeling like, I don't want to play games after I've streamed today? Is there any like kind of burnout from it?
Let me think. So for the most part, I do most of my gaming either for videos or for streaming. With all the streaming and recording I do, like I definitely get my fill of gaming. Okay. I do a little bit off stream. Like I recently got an Oculus Quest 2. Ooh. And I don't even have it configured to stream. So I'm like in my freaking room with my Oculus on, like I was playing FNAF VR. I'm like, this is terrifying. I was playing Beat Saber and stuff. Like VR is all brand new to me. So when it comes to stuff like that, I will play that off stream. But for the most part, I try to, because for me, it's like I love, if I'm going to be gaming, I might as well make some content out of it and share it with people, because I'm sure someone will enjoy it. And there are times where it's nice just to chill and play a game, and that totally happens too. Like the other day, I was playing my Game Boy Color on the couch, playing some Pokemon Blue, which was pretty sweet. But yeah, I would say for the most part off stream, I tend to focus more on the music stuff off stream. So practicing guitar, learning songs, playing with my girlfriend Tammy, who is she's a singer-songwriter, professional musician. So we get to play music all the time. So it's always fun to wind. Yeah, it's always fun to wind down after stream. Yeah, and play some music and stuff like that.
When you guys are playing music together, are you still doing the Mario stuff? Or are you doing a little mix of both? Or Nintendo stuff? Are you doing a little mix of both? Or
I would say with her, I do mostly not video game music. So she's like more of a traditional singer-songwriter. She's with an emphasis on like pop and other stuff. And historically, she's done a lot of like, normal music, right? And so I play a lot of I actually learned, so my good friend Sonny and Jake taught me how to play cajon, which is, if you're not familiar, it's a little percussion box that you hit. It's like a drum kit box. So I play that with her all the time now, and I just try to accompany her on whatever she's playing. So we play whatever, like literally whatever. We're playing Through the Fire and Flames, but the way she does it is awesome because she's like, it's like an acoustic, like almost campfire version of Through the Fire and Flames, but you got a cajon going. I don't know. We do all sorts of crazy stuff. We also dabble a little bit in the video game stuff as well. That's probably my influence. She loves video games and she always has, so she's more than down to do it. But I'm always like, we should play a little Undertale, a little something like that. But yeah, definitely a mix of both, I would say, to answer your original question.
It's funny. Earlier this year, Connor and I talked to Charlie Rosen. Do you know the 8-Bit Big Band?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked to him, and basically the same questions like about the Nintendo music, because that's all they play is the Nintendo music. Really quick, if anybody's listening to this and wants to find like her music, where can they find that?
So the best place, you can tune into Tammy in a few different places. She streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tammy_Black Media. She's on Spotify as well as Tammy Byerly. And she also has a YouTube channel, which is the same as her Twitch, youtube.com/Tammy_Black Media.
Nice.
Awesome. A little bit back to the streaming. Do you have a favorite part of streaming, or do you have a big moment that you really just love, or like a least favorite part of streaming in general?
Yeah, for sure. My favorite part, I was thinking about this one. I was actually talking about this with my close friends just this morning because it's such a great question. But one of my favorite parts about streaming is definitely the opportunity to inspire others is definitely up there. And like, for me, it's like, we get messages sometimes where people, they reach out and they just say, you know what, thank you for doing what you do. Like, it puts a smile on my face, or it helps my anxiety, or it helps me sleep, or, like I was having a bad day, but like I watched your video and now I feel better. And there's nothing better in the entire world than to hear that from somebody. It's it just makes me so grateful that I get to do this and like share, and that makes somebody happy, you know. It just goes back to our original topic of how it blows my mind that I get to do this at all. And on top of that, like make people happy doing it, like legitimately, and they want to write about it. It just completely floors me, and that without a doubt, that's definitely my favorite thing about streaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a personal medium in general because it has that interactivity, especially during streaming. But even afterward, there's the comments, people are talking, there's the subreddit, Discord. You get to make this community, and it's just, I'm sure it's an amazing feeling once you've kind of built that up and you're interacting with them at all times.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And the least favorite. So, I mean, the least favorite for me is like, I wish I could do it all. And it's kind of like, and just to specify, it's like, there's so many different things that I wish I had time to do. There's so many different games that I wish I could cover. So many things I wish I could focus on. You know, people are like, hey, we'd like to see, like, can you play, you know, Bloodborne? Like, I would love to see you play Bloodborne. It's their favorite Soulsborne game. And like, I've had a lot of requests for that. And I would love to do that on YouTube, but I just know I'm not gonna have time for that because we're wrapping up Dark Souls, Demon Souls coming out. Maybe eventually I'll get to it. But that kind of goes back to the original. It's like a lot of maybes. And there's a lot of people like, this was my favorite game growing up. I'd be so happy to see you play it. And I'm like, I would love to play it. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. So for me, it's like, I just wish I had more time to do all this stuff and to play all these games and to, you know, just cover everything that people want to see. And yeah, that's probably it.
What would you say so far is your favorite moment or memory of streaming in the years you've been doing it?
The memory of that donation always comes to mind, that $10,000 donation. It's like, it's such a rad moment because it's like, it's so memorable. Like, first of all, it's like $10,000 donation. That by itself is very memorable. Like, cool. Right? Like, oh my God, that was crazy. But just the fact that like it was a kid who hijacked their mom's account, and then like it was madness. It was part of a donation war. It had like him cursing at people in TTS during a live stream. And then like at the end of the day, nobody got hurt. You know, the money got returned. Everyone was square. And it was just, we just all get to laugh about it. And it's just a fun memory. So for me, I was actually thinking about this. I was like, man, I don't know which memory. And then like you actually had that question about the donation. I was like really thinking about it. And I'm like, that could be it. That is up there for sure.
I had a feeling they were going to connect.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. It's just about how like, for me, it's just about how fun and like almost whimsical that moment was. Cause it's definitely, you know, not about the money. It's about what went down and just how like everybody got a laugh out of it and nobody got hurt in the end, you know?
For sure. Was there a point in this journey becoming, you know, like building a community and becoming a streamer that you thought, I'm not going to make it? Is there a point where it just kind of hit where you're like, I don't know if I can keep doing this?
Man. So that is an interesting question. For me, man, I would say no, and the reason is like, for me, it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier, and it's I feel like as long as I'm if I'm being driven by my passion and doing what I love and doing it for the right reasons and know why I'm doing it, then I cannot fail.
For sure, and that's a great mantra to live by for it. Yeah, there didn't have to be like I felt real bad. No need to struggle for like, I need to make up a sad moment. We're happy to hear that there wasn't that point in your
It's something that like I have to work on every single day, you know? It's not like every day I wake up and I'm like, like 100%. Like I have to remind myself every single day, like, yo, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I following my passion still? Am I those things are like every single day or something that I have to constantly remind myself because it's super easy to forget. It's super easy to get wrapped up in the bad stuff. Yeah. Like the vanity stuff and all the like the ego driven stuff behind streaming, all the stuff I don't want to drive me. So yeah, for me, I just always want to make sure I'm trying to stay on point. And if I ever get off track, I'm very, very, very fortunate to have a very strong and loving family behind me. Tammy and then my good friend Sonny in the Black Pack, they support me in every single way. And kind of going back to what I was saying earlier when I forgot what the question was, but I was talking about how like I do a lot of the labor for my job, but this family that I have behind the scenes that supports me, like that's how they most support me. They keep my head straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you can give any advice to someone that's trying to be the next Mario Maker superstar or streaming superstar, what would you tell them?
Exact same thing I just said before. Follow your passions, follow your dreams, let that guide you. Like try to make sure you know why you're doing it, and try to find out what the right reasons are for doing it, like why you want to do that, and just soar. Like go from there. Like let that be your North Star as you try to navigate these waters, because it's very similar in my mind. Like the streaming, you want to make it as a streamer, it's very similar. Like I want to make it as a musician, I want to make it as an actor, I want to make it as whatever, like all this stuff. And I think it can be a very dangerous waters to navigate if you're not clear in your head with why you're doing it. So that would be my number one advice for sure.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. We appreciate spending so much time with us and really answering.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, I really appreciated the questions you all came up with. I thought they were great. It showed me like you actually you thought about what some good questions would be. You were talking about the music. You were talking about not just the gaming, but we touched on the life stuff.
Yeah.
And so many different areas. And it was just so great. So when we were reading over the questions, it was really like, yeah, this is awesome. This would be 10 minutes is not going to be enough.
No. If we said, hey, you want to come on for 45 minutes to an hour? And like, no, I don't want to do that.
No, I don't think so.
Low ball him first. It's actually funny. We had Kid Quill, who's a rapper, come on, and he said the same things. I really appreciate the questions. He's like, usually the first question I get is, how'd you get your name?
You guys didn't even ask me that one. You were too focused on the real stuff.
We got to the real stuff, not the actual real stuff. Like, leave it a mystery.
Yeah, or nobody's going to know now. We ran out of time. Maybe next time.
And his name is... Oh, we ran out of time. Sorry, guys.
That would be really funny.
But thank you again. You can check out Ryukahr on YouTube or Twitch/Ryukahr. On both of them, he posts videos a lot to there, and you do the live streaming more on Twitch, correct?
I do both. So YouTube, Twitch, for sure. You can check me out on Instagram, all under Ryukahr on all the major social media platforms.
And Reddit. And don't forget to check them out on
Reddit. The Reddit Ryukahr subreddit, baby.
Yeah. Ryukahr subreddit. Just go to the front page. You're going to see them.
You'll find them eventually.
You'll find them
Hopefully. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Again, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you all so much. It was really fun.
We'll be right back. Each week I say we have great guests, and I shouldn't play favorites, but this is definitely top 3 for me. Get it? Get it?
Because it's episode 3. For those who don't get it, a joke is set up in a way.
So, great guests today. Really
Fantastic.
Fun, really fun interviews. Make sure you catch the first 2 episodes, which have already been released on anywhere you can find podcasts. Legitimately, if you can find podcasts there, you're going to find our podcast, Offstage Radio. First one, we had Kid Quill, Ivy Marie. Definitely check them out, some musicians. After that, last week we had Grennan, along with
Undecided
Future. So go check them out. And then this one obviously was another fantastic episode. So where can you find us, Connor? If you're looking to find us on social media.
You can find us on all the socials. We got a Facebook, Offstage Media. We got Instagram, off.stage.media. That's the one that we're hitting up the most. And then Twitter, which, like I said last week, I'll get to.
We'll get to. I sent him the password. It was wrong.
It did not work.
If one of you changed our password.
You naughty.
Tisk. So we'll be getting on that as well. So, hey, go follow us. Stay tuned for next week. So next week, we have Vince Papali coming on. Mm-hmm. You know him from Invincible, played by Mark Wahlberg. It's about his life. He's coming on to the podcast, so definitely check that out. Everybody have a great week. We hope you stay safe, and we'll see you later.
See you next time.
Deuces.